2009. 18 candidates. You decide. The Mayor's Race with John Earling.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Mayor's Race with John Earling as we try to get to know these candidates. We have 18 candidates running for office, and so this program aims to talk to every single one of them. And joining me now is Republican Norris Streetman. Norris, nice to have you here.
Hey, thanks a lot, John.
All we want to do is get to know you a little bit about your professional background.
Sure. Well, I'm a business broker and real estate broker. Been doing it since '85. And we've been specializing for the last 10 years in the car wash industry. And we have a network of brokers all over 50 states, and then we work in Canada. And we refer and network business deals, real estate transactions pertaining to car washes.
Oh, so you find the land for a car wash?
Well, actually, for instance, say a broker has a listing on a property, and most folks don't really understand the whole emphasis of the car wash industry, especially brokers. And since I've been specializing it over a time, they come to me and we put them on our website and we market it through their brokerage, and then we do it on a referral basis.
All right. So the question is, why in the world would you want to be the mayor of Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Well, you know, John, I have never in my life wanted to have anything to do with politics. You know, I'm a business guy. But I like to exercise a lot. And one of my good friends was Neil Sweeney. And he was assassinated last year. And that just completely put me in a tailspin. I'm saying, what is going on with this crime in Tulsa? I started looking and evaluating, and I've been noticing, you know, kids are doing drive-by shootings. You know, 17-year-olds shooting 14-year-olds. We're seeing businessmen shooting businessmen. And I said, you know, this just has to stop. This is absolutely insane.
So that's the reason. It's public safety that's driven you.
Yes. You know, and then my grandpa was sheriff of Osage County. His name was Dick Streetman back in the 50s and 60s. And so during that time, I was able to, you know, run around with him once in a blue moon in his squad car. And that was enjoyable, and he taught me a lot. But the thing that I noticed that with the escalation of what's going on, I went and talked to Stanley Glentz about this. You know, we've got, you know, the Smith lab. You know, it's increasing probably 200% to 300% this year from last year. We've got certain areas of the city that are just ridden with crime. Murder rates are just astronomical. And so in talking to some of my friends, they suggested that we implement a program that they worked in Baghdad. And what that was is they went into neighborhoods. Instead of going from doing these drive-ins, drive-outs, and going back to the green zone, they put the military right in the heart of these neighborhoods. And what they found out over time when they did that, now they didn't move out, they stayed there. Over time, they got the trust of the neighbors, of the people. Mm-hmm. And in 3 months, the murder rate dropped 80%. So I went to Palmer, and I talked to him about this. And he said, well, there was a program back in Boston that worked similar to what you're talking about. So I talked to some of the North Side leaders, because I was the one that implemented the $1 Million Casino, Osage $1 Million Casino. I was one of the co-brokers in the deal that put that deal together. So at that time, I met some of the North Side leaders. And in talking to everybody, if we can get the neighborhood associations to spearhead this movement along with partnership of law enforcement. Now, again, the houses are vacant, foreclosed houses. So being in the real estate business, being a business broker, I know a number of banks that have millions and millions of dollars tied up in these high crime areas. And they're losing stuff. They're losing their assets. Things are burning down. Things are being vandalized. So they want to know what to do to stop this.
Okay. I'm going to have to move on here to other questions here.
You got it.
What are the most immediate challenges of the mayor's office that need to be addressed in the first 3 months? What would you attack?
Well, you know, we've got a budget crisis that's just We've got to deal with it. You know, sales tax is going down, spiraling downward, and we're going to have to deal with this issue. It's not going away. You know, we've got the streets, as everybody knows, we've got $451 million budget allocated to that. Now the citizens in '07 said we got to spend 1.6 billion to fix everything. So this street problem is not going to go away. It's with us. And I think what we've got to do, we've got to work with the contractors to see how we can eliminate waste as they're going, because they have what they call a change order. And I don't know if you're familiar with what a change order is. A contractor, we get the minimum bid. Then they have 7 to 12 months to finish the job. All they have to do, if they see they're going to have a problem at that time frame that they need, they go in for a change order. Most times they automatically get a change order. And what that means, that's extending the contract. And what that means to them, not only do they get more money, but they still get the bonus that is in place on the original deal.
Okay, I need to move on. Now, that's an immediate need. But as you plan for the future, 5 years into the future, do you have plans for Tulsa? Well,
I know there's plans already in place, but right now, if everybody realizes, I'm a businessman, I look at business models all the time. You know, when we do car wash deals, we evaluate either a year business model, 3-year business model, 5-year. I mean, all these business models are shot to heck right now. We can't, if you talk to an investor, a financial investor, and you really get the truth, he'll tell you he doesn't even know where it's going. I mean, right now, we don't even know where the end is. And so to put a business plan together realistic, I'm wondering if we can. You know, right now, we've got to stop the money flow and the bleeding of this city, and then we can work toward, a future.
As you look over the past few years, do you think Mayor Taylor, Democrat, has been a good mayor for our city?
Well, I applaud her for her moving in a positive direction. But, you know, we're looking at this building, you know, this City Hall,
yes.
This, what is it called?
Well, it's
Technology One
right.
Center. Okay, it's costing us right now, it's costing us $11,000 a day in mortgage payments. And we've got
so you wouldn't have moved into that building?
Well, you know, it costs us $4.4 million a year on debt service. So we don't have the money to pay for the thing. And right now, it's 65% vacant. And it was built for a one-tenant use. It wasn't built for a multi-tenant use, like what we're trying to implement now.
Okay, so this was a bad idea, you think?
I think it needed a little bit more planning.
Do you think it makes a difference whether anybody's a Republican or a Democrat when it comes to solving these issues on the city level?
Well, I think right now that we've got to look at reducing cost. We've got to be realistic on what the budget is. We've got to understand where the future lies, and the future right now is questionable. You know, we don't even know where the economy in the United States is going. You know, I was in a conference last week, and of financial investors, financial advisors, and they're looking at hyperinflation. So I don't know if you know anything about hyperinflation, but we've got some things coming down the pike that we've got to let the citizens know that we can get through this if we jointly work together.
All right. Well, Norris, you have a lot to say, and I wish I had more time,
Sure.
but our time is up. It goes by in a hurry. Norris Streetman, candidate for mayor. Look for him when he's out knocking on doors.
Thank you a lot,
right?
John.
You
I
bet.
appreciate you.
You bet. Thank you. Norris Streetman, candidate for mayor. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us for another candidate here on The Mayor's Race with John Earling.